Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Retribution, her weathered hands gripping the command console as the ship dropped out of hyperspace. Before them stretched the Kepler 442 system, once home to the peaceful Valdari civilization. Now only debris and the acrid taste of destruction filled the void. "Ma'am!" Lieutenant Rodriguez called from the communications station, his voice tight with barely controlled rage. "We're receiving the automated distress beacon. It's been broadcasting for 3 months." 3 months? Sarah closed her eyes, remembering the first time humanity had encountered the Valdari. They were a species of crystalline beings, their bodies refracting light in beautiful patterns, their technology based on harmonic resonances that created music from the very stars themselves. They had welcomed humanity with open arms, sharing their art, their science, their philosophy of peaceful coexistence. The Zephyrians had destroyed them all. "Scan for survivors," Sarah ordered, though she already knew what they would find. The Zephyrian Empire didn't leave survivors. They were a parasitic species, consuming entire civilizations to fuel their endless expansion across the galaxy. For 2 centuries, they had swept through systems like a plague, and the Galactic Council had done nothing but issue strongly worded condemnations. Humanity was barely a century into their space age when the first refugees arrived at Earth's borders. Species after species, broken and desperate, telling tales of the Zephyrian advance. The Galactic Council had welcomed Earth as a minor developing world, suitable only for providing humanitarian aid and resources. They never expected humanity to do what 3,000 years of galactic civilization had failed to accomplish. "Captain," Ensign Walsh whispered from the sensor station, "the Valdari homeworld, there's nothing left. They cracked it, split the planet right down the core." Sarah's jaw tightened. The Valdari had been Earth's first true friends among the stars. Ambassador Harmonic Echo of Dawn had spent months on Earth, marveling at human music and helping design the resonance chambers that now powered human starships. Sarah remembered the ambassador's crystalline laughter, the way light danced through her body when she was happy. "Time to intercept the Zephyrian fleet?" Sarah asked. 14 hours at maximum burn," replied Commander Torres from the navigation station. "But, Captain, they outnumber us 50 to 1. The Council's own estimates suggest—" "The Council," Sarah interrupted, "has spent 3 millennia hiding behind bureaucracy while entire civilizations burned. We're not the Council." She activated the ship-wide communications. "All hands, this is the Captain. 14 hours ago, we received confirmation that the Zephyrian 15th Assault Fleet has completely sterilized the Valdari system. Every man, woman, and child of a species that showed us nothing but kindness has been murdered. The Galactic Council calls this an unfortunate but inevitable consequence of galactic politics." Her voice grew harder, carrying the edge that had earned her the nickname Iron Sarah during the Martian Rebellion. "Humanity calls this genocide, and we have never, in our entire history, allowed genocide to go unanswered." The bridge crew straightened. They all knew the stories. How humanity had clawed its way up from a single world, how they had fought and bled for every inch of space they claimed, how they had taken in refugees when the great galactic powers turned them away, how Earth's shipyards now churned out vessels, crewed by dozens of species, all united under the simple human principle that everyone deserved a chance to exist. "The Zephyrians believe that might makes right," Sarah continued. "They believe that because they can destroy worlds, they should destroy worlds. Today, we're going to teach them about human might." 14 hours later, the UES Retribution dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Zephyrian formation. The alien fleet was massive, dreadnoughts the size of cities, destroyer swarms that blotted out the stars. At their center sat the flagship World Eater, its biomechanical hull pulsing with the absorbed life force of 100 dead worlds. Admiral Scretch Prime's voice crackled across the communication channels, translated by the ship's computer into flat, emotionless tones. Human vessel, you are trespassing in claimed Zephyrian space. Withdraw immediately or be destroyed. Sarah smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Admiral, this is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth ship Retribution. You are hereby ordered to surrender yourselves for crimes against sapient life. The Zephyrians' response was predictable. Plasma charges and void missiles filled the space between the fleets, but Sarah was already moving. All stop, she commanded. Activate resonance chambers. Throughout the ship, the Valdari-designed harmonic chambers began to sing. The technology that had once created beautiful music from stellar radiation now served a different purpose. The Retribution began to vibrate, its hull plates shifting into configurations that shouldn't have been possible. What are you doing? Scretch Prime's voice had lost its arrogance. Something human, Sarah replied. We call it righteous fury. The Retribution wasn't just a ship. It was a weapon designed by every species that had ever fled Zephyrian expansion. Thanari shield technology that could turn energy back on its source. Corvin temporal displacement drives that could make one ship appear to be many. Silicate computer cores that could process battle scenarios faster than thought itself. And at its heart, human engineering that said impossible was just another word for not yet. The ship split. Not metaphorically, but literally, the resonance chambers creating temporal echoes of itself. 51 copies of the Retribution suddenly filled space, each one real, each one armed with weapons designed by civilizations that had suffered under Zephyrian rule. The battle lasted 3 minutes. When the resonance chambers finally stilled, the Zephyrian fleet was gone. Not destroyed, converted. Their biomechanical components had been harmonically restructured, turned into seed ships that would carry life to dead worlds instead of destroying living ones. Admiral Scretch Prime found himself aboard the Retribution, his parasitic form restrained but unharmed. Sarah stood before him, flanked by refugees from a dozen species. You wanted to know what made humans different, she said quietly. It's simple. When someone cries for help, we answer. When someone commits genocide, we stop them. And when someone thinks they're too powerful to face consequences. She gestured to the view screen, where the converted Zephyrian ships were already beginning their new mission of restoration. We prove them wrong. The stars themselves seemed to sing as the fleet of former Zephyrian vessels set course for dead worlds, carrying the seeds of new life. Across the galaxy, the message spread through quantum channels and hyperspace relays. Earth had delivered retribution, and the age of parasitic empires was over.